Hey, how are you doing? Today's lesson we're going to be looking at more difficult equations, specifically ones with long division. Well, I say long division, I mean big division, division that spans at least more than one term. So it's helpful if you've watched the previous videos on how to solve equations. Okay. So, equations with big division. Alrighty. Okay. So, what I mean by this, let me show you an example quickly, e.g. W plus 4 divided by 5 equals 6. Okay, W plus 4 divided by 5 equals 6. So this is what I mean by big division, meaning it spans more than one term. It spans two terms. Now, in my previous videos I was talking about an algorithm that I've got, which calls bit maths backward and then opposite to other side, OTOS, opposite to other side. Okay. Now, with this, you can solve this one as well. When you realize that this long division groups the two terms into one bracket on top, it acts like a basket, and it baskets those two together. You with me? Okay. So it's W plus 4, then divided by 5. Okay. So when I reverse bit maths, I'm not going to get rid of the plus 4 first. I'm going to get rid of the divide by 5 first, because that's in brackets. Okay, and then it becomes very straightforward. W plus 4 is left over, equals 6 times 5 is 30. W equals 30 minus 4 is 26. Easy cake, huh? Alrighty, let's try another one. So, how about this one? E.g. 2k minus 3 divided by 4 equals 5. Okay? So, again, here's my thinking. This long division line brackets and groups those two together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first get rid of the divide by 4 before I get rid of anything inside the brackets. Okay, so I'm reversing bit maths. So I've got 2k minus 3, it stays there, equals 5 times 4, so divide by 4 is times by 4, is 20. 2k equals opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. K equals 11.5. 11.5. Okay, 23 divided by 2, 11.5. Everyone with me? Okie dokie. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward when you realize that that long division, all it does is just groups everything together. It does the same for the denominator when you get onto more advanced questions. But for now, let's just keep it on the numerator. Okie dokie. So, those are the two straightforward ones. Those are things you'll see in year 7 and most of year 8, but then you start to get into more advanced things in year 9, end of year 8, towards year 9. So this is what I want to take a look at now. 5x minus 9 over 3 plus 2x plus 1 over 12 equals 3/4. Okie dokie. Now, there are a couple of ways to answer this. I'm going to do it one way that allows me to explain it. Then there's another way that I'm going to show you. It's slightly faster than this way, but I'm not that crazy about it because it creates big numbers very quickly. You can see what I mean? Okay. So let's take a look at this. What am I doing here? Well, I'm adding fractions. That's a fraction, that's a fraction. So I'm adding fractions. So the first thing I have to do when I add fractions is I have to find the lowest common denominator, just like adding numerical fractions. Okay. So my lowest common denominator for 3, 4, and 12 is 12, right? Equals 3/4, 3/4. Alright. You can change that to over 12 if you want to. You don't really have to. It's not vital. You'll see why when I get towards the end. Okay, so now, what I have to do to 3 to make it 12? Well, I have to times it by 4. So I have to times the top, 5x minus 9, 5x minus 9, by 4. Okay, what do I do to the bottom? I do to the top. 3 times 4 gives me 12, so I have to times the top by 4. Right. Plus, well, what do I need to do to 12 to make 12? Nothing. I don't need to do anything to make 12. 12 stays 12. Okay. It's arbitrary. It's a trick question. So the top just stays 2x plus 1. You don't have to worry about it. 2x plus 1. There you go. Okay, there's no changing having to happen there. Right, so let's multiply this guy out. 4 times 5x, so I'm doing the distributive law. Again, there's a video on this as well. 4 times 5x is 20x. 4 times negative 9 is negative 36. You all with me? Okay. Plus 2x plus 1 all over 12. equals 3/4. Okay. Some people might be freaked out that I haven't changed that to 12 yet. Don't be. Okay. So let's tidy up the top here, right? Make it look pretty. So 20x plus 2x. 20x plus 2x is 22x. Negative 36 and 1. So negative 36 and 1, I'm going up from 36, is negative 35. All over 12 equals 3/4. Okay? Now I've got to here. So now it looks like what it did before. And now I can go back and do BIDMAS backwards and OTOS. So the opposite of divide by 12 is times by 12. I've got 22x minus 35 equals 3 times 12 divided by 4. That's what it means. Okay, 3/4 of 12, 3 times 12 divided by 4. So 22x minus 35 equals 3 times 12 is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. Okay, go check that. 3 times 12 is 36, divided by 4 is 9. Or 12 divided by 4 is 9. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, either way. Right, so now it looks like a linear two-step equation. Opposite of minus 35 is plus 35. 22x equals 9 plus 35 is 44. X equals 44 divided by 22, x equals 2. Alright, a little bit long-winded, but when you're actually looking at this, this is quite an advanced question for junior high. Okay, this is something that you should be able to do. And it is pushing you a bit, bringing in a whole bunch of different things. Algebra, bringing in number work, bringing in fractions, bringing in lowest common multiples, things like that. Okay, alrighty. I want to go and do one more and show you the shortcut way. Well, I don't like saying that. I'm sorry I said that. It's not really a shortcut way. It's just a different way of doing it. Some people love this way. I personally, I'm not that crazy about it because it allows you to do it without... I've seen people do this way without really understanding what they're doing. Let me put it like that. Okay. Whereas the other way, you have to understand what's going on in order to do it. Okay. So, this way is when you just multiply everything by the lowest common denominator. So let's look at this example, e.g. X minus 2 divided by 10 plus x over 20 equals 1/4. Okay, so I look at that and I say, what's my lowest common denominator? My lowest common denominator is my lowest common multiple, which is 20. Okay, if you're not sure how I did that, list the multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, multiples of 10, 10, 20, multiples of 20, 20. They all match at 20. Are you with me with that? Okie dokie. So, here's the trick. I multiply everything by my lowest common denominator. Alright? So, that means that this one, I've got 10, the LCD is 20, so 20 times by x minus 2 over 10, the whole thing, plus 20 times by x over 20 equals 20 times by 1 over 4, just to be pedantic. Are you with me? Okay. So, well, let me write it like this. If I really want to be pedantic, I'm going to put it in brackets, like that. Okay. So now let's tidy this up. You should be okay with multiplying and simplifying fractions. Well, 10 goes into 10 once, it goes into 20 twice. 20 goes into 20 once, into 20 once. 4 goes into 4 once, into 25 times. If that was too fast, go and check out adding fractions and simplifying fractions. Okay. Right, so what do I have here? I've got 2 times x and 2 times negative 2, right? So I've got 2x minus 4. 1 times x plus x equals 5 times 1, 5. You're with me? Over 1, over 1, over 1, I don't have to write divide by 1, because anything divided by 1 is itself. Okay, so now I've got rid of all fractions and it's just turned into this lovely linear equation. Okay, so now let's tidy things up. Let's carry on going. Whoops, drop the pen. So 2x plus x is 3x minus 4 equals 5. 3x equals opposite of minus 4 is plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. Opposite of times by 3 is divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, quite hectic, huh? It looks messy, but if you follow it, it's actually pretty straightforward. I'm not crazy about it, because can you imagine that if I had 4 inside there, or if I had 50 inside there, all of a sudden we'd start to deal with really big numbers. It's a nice method that works with easy stuff, but it's not my favorite. Okay, I prefer the working of the other one. Anyway, there's 2 solutions for you, 2 options. Go try them, see what you like, see how you feel. Remember, it's your maths, not my maths. I'm just sitting here. Okay. All right. There's more notes in the blog. There's more videos on this channel. Go check them out. All right. Remember, I'm here for you.